collapsed, I would have done it a long time ago. So I'm happy to be here, for sure. And colleagues, you must realize that this is a very serious matter. Because when you see up here for you today, I want to talk to you for you to understand. Number of visit you meet you. I'll show you a few points here, but today, if you are not there, I would have talked about. We are also, as we did wish to be here, I'll find myself. So, and it's also my board member, you know. My colleagues, and I would mention them one by one. I have Dr. Soti, who is representing the KMDHS. I have Madam Peloju, who is the CEO of the Anti-FGM board. I have Dr. Purity Gena, who is the CEO of the National Gender and Equality Commission, who is here with us, and in fact, she's very active in our CEOs group. Dr. Sheikh can confirm. Then I have, of course, introduced from National Council for Population Development, who is also sitting in the board where I serve. So I'm here with my lawyer. You can understand that. Then I have my friend who started then he was like this, like that, and now he's back in history as the DG within here with us. Now, Sarah was part of giving support from ICF, and we had a few discussions with her, and really appreciated the facilitators for the good work that they have been doing. Then I have my senior. I joined the bureau and found him in the bureau. Then he also went like this and still going like that. When Joshua Musini, who is representing the UN Women. Then we have Professor Agwanda, who is the director of PSRI, University of Nairobi. In the room, it is only Professor Agwanda who will connect all the DHS series, including the fertility survey that was done way back in 1978. He's the only one who can connect all of them. And so that is a center of knowledge that we have to appreciate. So, and I, of course, I have my directors in the bureau, and I have to recognize them fully. I have Robert Deriso, who is the director in charge of production statistics. I have Dr. Jane Weru, who is the director in charge of corporate services. And I have Benjamin Abusewa, the secretary of who is the director in charge of statistical coordination and methods. I'm not sure if there is any other director I've left out. Okay, the others are not here. Now, I also appreciate the fact that we have a number of stakeholders who are with us, and they have facilitated these processes. I think introduction was done, and so I recognize all the facilitators who have come from the other institutions that are part of this process. I recognize you all. Dr. I can see you quite over there. Thank you so much. Now, just a few points. One, we have not done a mini DHS before. This is the first one. And it is the first one because when we did the last one, we were very conservative with the resources that we had and some balances. And when we went to the steering committee meeting, we requested if we could use what was left to be seed money to a mini DHS, and this money was coming from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And so it was debated upon, and I remember very well Dr. Sheikh giving a lot of support for that, so that we could do a mini DHS. If I didn't get a voice, we wouldn't be here today. Yeah, that is one important thing. The second bit of it is the fact that we have been able to get resources from different players. Now, to top up to what we had at the beginning, to make us realize the conduct of this survey. And so, the Aga Khan University came on board. They have not gotten to this before, but they came on board to support. UNICEF is supporting, UNFPA is supporting, UN Women is supporting, and we have WHO is supporting. So we have a large team of institutions that are supporting this exercise. The biggest supporter of DHS has been, but you are aware of what has happened. So right from 1989, when the first DHS was conducted in Kenya, it's courtesy of USAID. And that has been done over the time until and including 2022. And so it is this first that has been done with support from USAID. Francis has told you that in 2027 we are expecting another one. But we really have to be organized for us to get resources to do that. And that has been demonstrated by doing the mini DHS. So I'm hopeful that come that time, we'll be able to do another one through the collective support from various players. Now, just, you can forget about all that I've said, but remember just this one only. So I could give you a few seconds to erase what has gone into your mind, then be free to absorb what I'm going to tell you next. That's what I'm going to talk about. I decided not to read any speech. Yeah? Just to accommodate this one only. I start like this. Census in a country is the mother of all surveys. We ride on it in for subsequent activities that we do, and majorly on surveys. But even when it comes to administrative data, it is still very useful to us. Because when we go to the civil registration services, we would provide them with a denominator of the expected number of children being born in a particular year. So that is just one, so that they are able to tell their level of registration, the data that we are get to consume. But let me just get to the side of the survey. That it is from the census that we are able to develop a statistical frame. Now, in the last census of 2019, we were able to realize more than 110,000 enumeration areas. Out of those enumeration areas, we took 10,000. We did just 10, but we scientifically selected 10,000 enumeration areas, developed them into clusters. Are we okay up to that point? Now, 10,000 clusters are representing more than 111,000 areas. You've been told that you are going to how many clusters? How many clusters? 1,000. Now, out of the 10,000, it is only 10,000 that have been selected. Isn't it? Huh? 1,000. It is only 1,000 that has been selected out of how many? 10,000. That is what? A 10. Isn't it? And when you look at the number that we took from the general years, it was less than a 10, isn't it? Are we together? Now, my statement was heavy, that's why I needed water. Yeah. I hope you are getting how we are getting down there. Now, out of those 1,000 clusters, we are getting to the households, and each one of them has an average of 100 households. But we are covering how many households? 30 out of about 100. But when we get the results of this survey, we will not be talking of just those particular households or those clusters, but we will be grossing it up for national, breaking it down into rural, urban, then the county level. Are we together? Now, my big statement is this, which you need to remember when you go out there. You are taking a household to represent so many. A small mistake made with an individual in the household is going to be replicated many times. And so we are duplicating a problem many times. Are you getting where I'm heading to? At the end of the day, what I require is quality data collected as per the training that has been offered for this long period of time. Are we together? Yes. That is my message. You've understood how we are getting to a household and what each of those respondents will be representing at the national level to get our total. Are we together? Do I need to say anything else? I don't even need to get into your behavior. What I require is getting the data collected as per the training that has been offered here. And if you forget anything, you have your supervisor. Supervisors, if you have any problem, coordinators are there. If you have a problem, I can still help you. Part of this training. After all, I've trained so many DHS. Until now, Scholar blocked me not to train him further. Yeah. So I can still, even for new concepts, I would be able to read and help you out. Kiki Umana. Sawa. And that's where we are. So that is my message. So forget about any other thing. But remember that go get correct information from the field. Are we okay? Sawa. That is between me and you, and of course, God is also watching us. Sawa. I think I've given you enough. Let me now get to the program. That is I've done my bit. I've just mentioned to you that we have a number of stakeholders, and the team that is here, we have many other stakeholders, but we decided to go for the main ones whose work revolve around what we are going to get. statistics will show, will give a period of time and under what arrangement, what kind of framework have been in place to provide that. So that is here with you. So I would request to give my so thank you. I'm told that there was something that did not happen. So I'm told to. That's what I'm so talking to me here. How will I then cheat? See here? Yeah, actually, recognition was not done in a complete manner. That's Geoffrey from ICF was not recognized and is here with us. Actually, in terms of nationality, I think he is from Uganda. At the time, I'm speaking to him in Swahili, and he told me no, he doesn't understand Swahili. So yes. So my friend, sorry for that omission, and thank you so much. He's been supporting the team very well. You know, when you get that kind of support from a neighboring country here, where the situation is almost similar, then you know, we have been given examples. See Nigeria, yes. And of course, not again the other request was for Lois, who was not recognized. Lois, kindly just you know, I noted Lois to be very keen when I mentioned that we give the civil station the denominator, and akaniangalia, and I also recognized her at that time. Thank you. Yeah, so that's where we are. I'm just calling now my colleagues to give their quick remarks. If UNICEF is here right now with us, not really. UNFPA, Ezekiel was on the way, and then he had a problem. Was it Kimende or someplace? Yes. Yes, he had a problem with the vehicle, so he's not yet here. But I have my seniors. I told you, Joshua Musimi, representing UN Women. Kindly come over.
Thank you, Bwana DG. He says I'm his senior. I look senior than DG. For real, yes. I joined the service before him, a year ahead of him. We've been good friends because we worked closely up to this time. And I must appreciate a good working relationship with the DG. And this is to say that, remember, I was born and bred in KNBS. That time it was CBS then. But because of the tour of duty, we used a hand like this. Did you see that? So I've gone here, here, and here. So currently, my name is Joshua Musimi. I'm working with the UN Women. I'm representing the country rep, Antonia Sondonon. She was supposed to be here, but we have another function happening in Nairobi at the KICC, which is attending. That's why I had to come and represent her. I have about 2 to 3 points which I want to raise here. We've been working in collaboration with KNBS since 2000. When we started known as making every woman and girl count. In In short, we call it Women Count. Particularly try to support the production and use of gender statistics for policy decisions and programming. And we are currently winding up phase 2 of this program, this coming December. If resources are available, we'll still have a phase 3 starting from January 2026. This program has had some commendable achievements in supporting KNBS and the government in general to collect data, particularly the analysis on the gender perspective. Some of the notable activities that we supported from the scratch was the Kenya Time Use Survey, which has now been analyzed. The report was produced, and now we celebrate having formulated a national care policy out of the data. Out of the data, we've also supported the development of the national policy on that is women economic empowerment, which has been also passed. As the Director General will tell you at some point, we are also scheduled to launch another product next week out of the same data. So just to name a few. The second one, we supported the DHS 2022, which gave us a number of indicators that are used to report on the SDGs. Out of the national indicator framework, we increased the number of indicators that the country is reporting by 13 extra indicators out of the 2022 DHS, which is still commendable. The current Kenya mini DHS, we hope, will add some extra indicators to this indicator framework for the country. And one of them is what Francis alluded to, the technologically facilitated gender-based violence. So I want to say that we've been able to work closely and we made a lot of progress. The second one is to appreciate the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics for accepting to incorporate some questions on the technologically facilitated GBV. This is the first time we are generating data on this indicator. And I know, Stella, it was a push and pull at some point because we are looking at the size of the questionnaire. I think our chief guest at one point had to mediate on this because we sat in one of the hotels here in Nakuru where we were discussing on, trying to do the trade-off between the number of indicators required and the size of the questionnaire. So I think I must appreciate the Bureau because this is one of the priority areas for the country. Remember, the President launched, is it a task force to look at the gender-based violence, particularly the femicide in the country. And therefore we felt it was important for us to get at least some baseline data to support the work that is being done by that task force. Going forward, I want to say that we'll continue to support the Bureau in this exercise, particularly in the validation of the data as it's being collected in the field. Once we get the opportunity, we'll also try to see what the teams are doing, and particularly those which are in Nairobi, where we can just walk in and find out what the teams are doing. Like the DG said, we are not new to DHS. The 2003 DHS, I coordinated the training. I think you are 190 or thereabout. I had a team of 250 when we did the 2003. That time I was working with the Bureau. And therefore, this is not new. Even the other series, we've been able to interact with the data. We know what to check. And therefore, we'll be able to offer support for the DG in the validation of even the data being collected, including the cleaning and even report writing. Women will be able to support that, and even up to the dissemination of the results and we see the use. Because at the moment, the program we're working on is looking at the use of the data that has been produced. So without taking a lot of time, I want to thank all the teams. And like the DG said, we are only asking quality data from you. If you deliver that, we'll be so much happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Joshua, for the good news and the fact that we are still going to get some support. We are assured of that. So we appreciate actually the fact that you have come with you and women. And one good thing of having one of your own in a place, he or she will always give you the clear position to take to get funds. So we have really benefited from that. Thank you. Good. So I would like to call upon, I'm not sure if
Council for Population Development, Dr. Budo, Director General from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, Dr. Massini, Director General of Economic Planning, Dr. Soti, Senior Deputy Director of Medical Services from the Ministry of Health, Dr. Ngina, Commission Secretary from the National Gender and Equality Commission, Mr. Musini, Gender Statistics Expert from UN Women, and Ms. Laloju, CEO of the Anti-FGM Board, for joining us today. Thank you. I also thank everyone from KNBS, the MOH, Aga Khan University, University of Nairobi, UNFPA, UN Women, UNICEF, WHO, and to the countless partners and organizations who dedicated their time, expertise, and resources to the many months of meticulous planning that's gone into this KMDHS. This launch is a testament to your collective commitment. But a plan is just a plan until it's brought to life by people. And that's why I really want to take a moment to thank our research assistants, our supervisors, and our coordinators. You are the very heart of this survey, and the truth is that we cannot do this work without you. Over the past 1 month of intensive training and the 3.5 weeks of the pilot training before that, you've absorbed a staggering amount of complex material, and this work is really not easy. It demands more than just technical skill. It requires immense dedication, sharp attention to detail, and an incredible resilience, and you've all shown that and more. The quality of the data that you will collect is the absolute foundation of this entire program. It's the data that will inform policy, and it has the potential to shape the future for millions of Kenyans. The responsibility is great, but I have watched you embrace it with this professionalism and a commitment to excellence that's truly inspiring. You are the guardians of our data quality, and we have every confidence in your ability to uphold this critical work. There was a period when the future of the DHS program was uncertain, so to have navigated through that and to now be here with this exceptional team ready to begin is a moment of profound hope and happiness. I'm truly honored to have worked with each and every one of you over the past couple of months, and this launch really is your achievement, and I hope you feel very proud. So with a heart full of gratitude and confidence, it's my great pleasure to congratulate you all on your achievements thus far, and to wish you the very best as you embark on the next few months of field work. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for the good comments, and I believe that everything went well here. Then I would like now to go to the Population Studies and Research Institute, PSRI. The director, Professor Alfred Gwanda, is here, Center of Knowledge. So Prof, kindly share with us from the university. Karibu sana.
The guest of honor, the Director General MCPD, the DG KNBS, all our partners, development partners, this is represented here. 9 is to commend KNBS for initiating this initiative. The last time we did DHS was 2022, but for planning purposes, that data may be not aligned with what is going to happen by 2030. But I'm here to say that Population Studies and Research Institute has always been represented in the activities of KNBS relating to population. Since the National Demographic Survey of 1973, Kenya Fertility Survey of 1977-78, the Contraceptive Prevalence Survey of 1984, and all the DHS that we have had. It also gives us the opportunity to learn, because many of us who go through the institute also have the capacity to learn in advance what happens in the data collections. This is why Dr. Kim was always here, because he's currently the one in charge of teaching, collection of skills. And I wish KNBS and PRI go along collaborating so that we can be able to collect quality data. I know since 2008 we are having childhood mortality. You see the results there. And I hope we will improve on how to collect data on childhood mortality. Because as at now, we are not very sure whether we have been collecting the right data. But we hope with quality data, we can improve on that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You know, I was starting this case from 1978 to 1973. Thank you so much. Then I'm now to call upon my friend who is the CEO of anti-FGM board, and she's coming. Actually, it is a big for us for her to come, because she had a challenge at home, but she had to make sure that she gets space to come here. You guys are what we have to do.
Thank you, DJ. Dr. Mohammed Sheikh, DG, the DG KNBS, our partners, my fellow CEOs and Director Generals, facilitators, and the researchers. Good afternoon again. 24 days is a very long time to be in a training, but we've been told you've done very well. I'm very, very happy to be here, always ready to support my fellow CEOs when it comes to work that we have to do. And that's why I'm here today. Had to travel from Nairobi this morning. And yeah, when DG called me yesterday, I said I will be here. I'll do as much as possible to make sure that I'm here, because data for us is critical. The Bureau is critical to us, and us getting data that helps us in our programming, in our policy and strategy is very critical. FGM is not among the indicators that we are looking at in the mini DHS, but I know also that so for us to have the indicators now in 2025, 2020-2025 is very close. For us to have a difference between what we had in 2022 and 2025, it would not be a very big difference. So, as you've been told, mutilation board, I know most of you do not understand what FGM is because you don't come from communities that practice FGM. But also within this room, according to the Kenya Demographic 2022, 15% of women, that is 14.8% of women between the age of 49 have gone through FGM in Kenya. That means the women in this room, if I do 14.8%, are survivors of FGM. We call ourselves any more victims, we call ourselves survivors. We have survived everything. As I stand here, I'm a survivor of FGM. Went through FGM when I was barely 13 years old. I want to blame my grandmother, my mother, my aunties. They thought that was the best thing for me because at that time, they believed that if I don't go through it, then I'll not get a husband. And to them, a husband is more important than anything else. The same is still happening within going through female genital mutilation in the 21st century. When we are talking about artificial intelligence, when the world has moved forward, we are still talking about female genital mutilation. Extremely sad. And when I stand here, I'm standing on behalf of very many women who have suffered the consequences of FGM. Extremely sad that we had to go through pain that we had not even asked for. And the worst thing about female genital mutilation is that it's the worst form of gender-based violence. And I think it's the only violence where one gender is perpetrating. Because I believe women are the lead perpetrators of FGM. Even if we say men have a role to play, which I know they have as the gatekeepers of culture, but I still believe women can end FGM in one day. And that's why I believe that every woman can save her daughter from the cut. Because it's women who cut their fellow women. And women in this house who have not gone through FGM would never do it on their daughters. Because it's not part of their culture. So every day I call upon women who have gone through the cut to be the ones who will end FGM once and for all. And I believe my generation can end it. Women from counties that cut, do you believe that we can end it? Do you believe that we can end it? Yeah, we can end it. And every time I stand up to speak, I want to have champions. I want to yeah, who is a survivor of FGM, not to cut her daughter. Please save the next generation from the cut. And every man in this house, if you're from a community that cuts, can you be a voice in your household? Just start with your household. If you start with your household, then the 2027 statistics will look different. Especially for girls between the age of 15 to 19. The girls who will have gone into the statistic between 2022 and 2027. For us who are between the age of 25 to 49, the only thing we can do is save our daughters from it. Where we will be in 2030, 2035, 2040. We hope we'll get to zero by 2030. We hope. And through what we call the My Dear Daughter campaign, where every mother in this country should be able to save her own daughter from the cut, I believe that we can end FGM once and for all. For us, data is critical, as I had said, because we need data for it to inform our programming. At the moment, we have very high prevalence. Starting from Mandera, Garissa, very high. Those counties are in red. More than 90% FGM. Then we come to Kajiado, Narok, Bomet, Kisii, Nyamira. Kisii, Nyamira. Higher than the Maasai counties. Higher than the Maasai counties, because you always believe that it's the Maasai, the Samburu who cut, and the Somali. But imagine the Kisii have higher FGM than the Samburu and the Maasai. Then we go to the Pokot, West Pokot, Elgeyo Marakwet. very high statistics. Marsabit, Isiolo, Samburu, Taita Taveta, Bungoma, among the Mount Elgon. Yeah, the Mount Elgon area. Then we have Tana River. Very high statistics. Then we have Darakanipi. You are not out of the woods. Darakanipi, Meru, Embu. Counties that you wouldn't think have FGM. So if you're in the house and you're from counties, let's be champions against female genital mutilation. Add to the women. You are very powerful. Women are powerful in the community. And women can change. Even in a household, a house that you see has succeeded, the woman has been beautiful. And so you should be, you should take the lead. You should take the lead in everything to make sure that you change your society, change your community, you change where you come from. And I know men are our allies. Men are ready to listen to us. But they need to be told in a way that, yeah. So let us get out, make sure that we use our different gender in a way that it can help us to change the world. Let's not come out here and say, ah, we women are now empowered, so men should be disempowered. I believe that empowerment is for each and every one of us. It doesn't matter who is empowered. Each of us, whether male or female, can change the world in their own very good way. I know there's been a lot of discussion because of the politics and the elections going on in Tanzania. Do you know what has been going on? Now they are saying fear women? Fear women? Yeah, is that the conversation? That fear women more than men? Okay, please don't fear us. But just know that we can deliver as much as we can. Yes, we can. So thank you very much. For me, as I lead the anti-FGM board, please get us the data that is needed for us to do policy, strategy, and programming. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. She has preached to us. At the KMDHS, that time when it was out, I can't remember the figure. The good thing about it was that when you look at the by age cohorts, when you look at lower, it is higher for the older persons, which means the cases that were done earlier, but for the younger persons, it is getting lower. Let's see what we get. And this morning, Dr. Ichora was just saying, now when you talk of GM, we really want to connect it to education. Get to see the performance of education as it relates to FGM. Actually, before Dr. Ichora came back to the ministry, he was Ministry of Education, and so that is still ringing in his. So it is very good to get to be able to pull out higher levels of FGM and do a study that relates to the collecting. It is still, it's cross-stabbing will still give us something. Let's see what actually the guys, you guys, Francis. Oh, he has disappeared. Oh, okay. Let me check on that. Let's check on what is concerning education and FGM. Yeah. Let's see what comes out. If it requires study, it will now be easier because we consider the counties with reported higher cases of and deal with that. Thank you. That's okay. So I would like to call my colleague, the CEO of the National Gender and Diversity Commission.
Thank you so much, DG. The chief guest, Director General, and Mohammed, the Director General, we are honored because you invited us. Director of the Department of Economics, Dr. Masini, CEO, my colleagues and friends, and TFGM boards, Madam Lolojo, representative from the Ministry of Health, David Soti, representative from Development Partner, and Professor Agwanda, and my researchers. My name is Purity Gina. I'm the CEO of National Gender and Equality Commission, and allow me, DG and Chief Guest, to recognize that one of our own Director of Program, Paul Korea, was one of your trainers, and I'm sure he brought a wealth of experience. I'm happy that even in this work that you're doing, he was able to support. And when I was, I'll say something. I reflected a lot. Who loves data. My PhD is in mathematics. So they said to me, we are twins, friends. That speaks to my heart. And so I brought my personal reflection on when I felt data speaking to everybody in Kenya. And I reflected on what data, what is it for, who is the consumer of it. And I went back to 2020. You remember, every day then, that was during COVID, we would hear the CS of health. Do you remember the CS of health? Who was he? Yes? 2020. I think everybody even remember how he would start his statement. Fellow Kenyans, for the last 24 hours, we have had 10 cases, 10 reported cases of COVID-19. 9 have been Kenya nationals, and 1 has been from this county. You remember that time? Go ahead and tell us, if you begin normally, this disease is going to treat you abnormally. And I reflected on that time. That is the time every Kenyan every day. And what did we do? We acted. Most of us not only mastered his speech, but we actually acted. We stopped going out. We stayed at home. We started washing our hands. No one was greeting anybody. We stopped taking time to bury 3 days. And you stopped even inviting friends to come if you. We stopped going to church. Or we were told to stop going to church. Because data was very clear to us. It was we kept our children at home to be safe. And that is the power of data. That data changes us. That time personally, I really stayed at home for almost a year. Of course, most of us suffered. We were mentally disturbed because you were asking, when will this come to an end? And then we had the KDHS of 2022. And came from this data. And again, that data scared. We were told that 15% of us at the age of 19, became pregnant.
We were told that 15% of our girls have gone through FGM. We were told that over 50% of people from Murang'a County has experienced physical violence. It has scared us. And it has led to the president actually thinking about forming a technical working group on gender-based violence, including femicide. Personally, I was honored to be among the people who were selected by the president. That is the power of data, that it is through data that actions are taken. That the people who consume this data will actually make this. As our DG has said, you're the people who will give us quality data. If you give us data, we'll be making decisions that will actually affect Kenya. So the importance of this data cannot be overstated. Lives will be saved and more informed decisions will be made. For those investing in this KNDHS, the director has mentioned that Bill and Merida Gates, and I'm sure other partners, just know that this will go changing this country. Helping policies that will improve the lives of many. Take this opportunity to congratulate Kenya Bureau of Statistics, because most importantly, this is not just the first time that you're doing the mini DHS. It's the first time that we'll get data on technologically facilitated gender-based violence. We used to be so scared of gender-based violence where someone slaps you, someone beats you, someone abuse you, when you can look at that person. But these days, when I wake up every morning, I check my social media, say it about me, about how I look, how I sit, how I don't do, how I, this is something. So how do we, and I'm just one among the many women and men that are going through violence, whether you want to call it gender-based violence or just violence, that is facilitated through technology. And I'm happy that we shall have enough data so that we can think through what are the measures, what policies do we need, what is it the bill that will solve the problem, or are there other things that we need to do? We shall also get data on mortality, and it will help us answer this question on femicide. We know that femicide is not defined. So maybe through this data we'll be able to push for policy reforms to get to the level where the penal code that femicide is defined at sexual harassment, sexual acts, and other policies that support it. So I'm very, very happy that you're doing this, and we continue as National Gender and Equality Commission. We shall continue to be your friend, to be your ally, to be your advocate, and every day you call us, Director, we shall show up, because this data is going to help us even when we are monitoring. We'll be able to answer the right question. I'm honored, and congratulations.
That has also gone very well. In fact, Francis talked of a case where when you get to a household, then one lady would be interviewed for the. We talked of the technology facilitated violence against women. Did you talk of men? We don't have it this time. Violence against men. Apuna. Boy child, just get to see where we are. Okay, fine. We accept. So at this point again, now I did not get to realize anybody. Not yet. Okay.
Distinguished guest in front of you. I'm looking at you as the very distinguished guest. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I think DG KNBS has spoken for me, just like you said. But looking at or hearing what he just said before he spoke on my behalf, and remembering what I discussed with Joshua just before we came in here, and then also remembering what Francis did to you and said, then I must congratulate thoroughly those two gentlemen who are mentioned here. What he didn't tell you
and I know he's a statistician, he didn't tell you that your composition of this group is less than 40%. So if you made it to that top, then you must have done thoroughly well. Congratulate yourself. Not that I'm against my sisters and daughters in this, but just to say that all of us are responsible in everything that we do. Let me say we are major consumers, as you said, yes. If you look at all the indicators that you're going to collect, all of them, even if you imagine that if you imagine that the FGM is not health, it is, because we are affected. If you think GBV is not, it is, we are affected. GBV, when somebody gets injured, where do they go? Ministry of Health. If the ministry staff do not know how to document evidence so that they can make justice possible for these people, will they get justice? FGM, some of us are we need to be taught as health professionals. But then, when it is done, the later effects again come back to us. Difficulties in deliveries. Who suffers? Health again. So everything that is here, we are consumers. And on that note, I want to say that I'm here on behalf of Director General for Health, Dr. Patrick Amoth, who because of other duties was not able to be here, but all of us as a ministry, really, from the leadership, we are happy that this is happening. We are excited that this is happening. Because the last 7 years have been to mentor our staff in policy making. Not just policy making, but evidence. Where do we get evidence? It is from statistics. You know that to achieve universal health coverage, which in simple terms means you reach everyone, everywhere, with highly efficient, quality, and responsive health services. How would you do that if you have no evidence? Where are they? What are they suffering from? How do we address the issues that affect them if we don't have evidence? So for us, we are excited in one way. Today, as I speak, there is a team from the Ministry of Health looking at the program called Reproductive, Maternal, Neonatal, and Adolescent Health. And if you look at that, we are looking at maternal, and you're talking about maternal mortality ratio. The data we have, the latest, is 2019. When you present that to anybody who is serious with data, they tell you, no, this is outdated. And so, when a DG KNBS, we are thinking probably we don't need to be waiting for 5 years. If you can do this means many more, but I know that resources are not adequate. Why don't we also look at use of technology? The way you are doing technology to track GBV, can we also use technology to track these events, these things happening, so that we can get this data in real time? So for us, this data is not just going to form a basis or a baseline for what we want to monitor as UHC as we go ahead, but it's also evaluate what has happened between 2019 to date. What did we manage to do? Because in that program, it is the one that looking at the SDG number 3, which is health. It is one area that we are not seeing progress. Year in, year out, we just find things are just stagnated around low coverage, with low coverage, especially when you talk about neonatal deaths, you find like they are not improving. They remain at around 20, 21, 22, 19. A drop after 5 years, a drop by 1. Yet we are saying we should have less than 12. 2030 is how many years from now? So the focus is now, when we get this data in real time as we implement this program, we will be able to focus on the areas. The same with maternal mortality. We'll be focused on the area that we find having this focal points where things are not doing well. We want to focus on this and give them intensified programming so that we can have the impact of the few or little resources that we have, because we don't have enough resources to just pour everywhere for everyone, but we'll focus. If we want to improve this, we must focus where is the problem, and that is based on the data that we collect, without a lot of emphasis on what DG already said. If, and I remember the CEO NDEC saying this, if we do not behave well collecting this data will haunt us, because it is going to affect us. It is our households that are going to be visited. It is our people who are going to give this information. The moment you give wrong information, we give wrong programming, the results are also wrong on our health. So for sure, I can't emphasize it more than that to say, let's be very diligent in what we do, let's be focused, let's do the best in the time that we have. We are privileged to be in this. So please make that privilege have impact in the lives of Kenyans. With those, I thank you, and I thank all the facilitators, I thank all the funders for this, and we hope that this particular result will come in good and inform us going forward what to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Daksari, for the insight that you've given us here, and we appreciate. We'll how best we can manage some of this process to another level. We are testing a few things here and there, which then should culminate into the real things that we want to see. Next year we are hosting the Data Festival. That will be the third one being done globally, and so we are excited about it. We want to showcase some of these, some of the technologies that are available. I think with that, we are heading in the right direction. We have been joined by Professor Amina Abubakar, is the director in charge of Institute of Human Development. I told you collaboration with the KNBS, and that we are expecting Professor to come. She has arrived. I will still give us some little time in and out as I call the next speaker so that you can share with us. The support from the university, I'm sure will not be here at this point, because we'll still be so much to the kit. And you see, this is a private institution coming to work with the government. In the data space, in the statistics space, we have opened it completely to ensure that everyone has space. We bring in a module that will take care to get control. So I get to my, I told you that Dr. Ishwara has been my colleague for many years. We've known each other for a long time, and he is back. Wearing another hat. So kindly, Daksari, the chance is now yours. Come and share with us. This is the DG within the DG Economic Planning and the State Department of Economic Planning.
Thank you, DG. Guest, Dr. Allow me to ride on the protocols so that I do not miss anybody out of this. You also allow me to take pride that I'm an old KNBS staff, having joined month, the same day, and the same year with the DG, and of course my colleagues Abu Sefwa, Ben, and the Lieutenant Robert, who are senior officers in the bureau. So I think where I sit already, those who have worked ahead of me in the same position, of course the DG position is the first one, I'm the first one to occupy it, but of course there are those of my colleagues who were ahead of me. In the last 20 years, we've been 6 of us, and out of those 6, 3 of them have passed through the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. So you can see that the Bureau is really producing high quality staff. So I take pride on that. Chief guest, you also allow me that I need to recognize that my officers from the SDEP, this State Department for Economic Planning. I think when they were introduced, I don't know whether they are introduced as coming from particular counties, but I think we need to recognize those who are from who are going to the team. Maybe you can stand where you are so that they can be I said they also need to eat deep of statistics. You can sit down so that we can be able to be here. Of course, when I come around, I don't miss making even coming here, she said that we must move fast so that we don't miss coffee. Of course, I take pride that that tonight I'm told we are being invited. Of course, DG has not pronounced this, that we are being invited for a cocktail. But of course, so are we invited? Yeah, but because of the work that I do 24/7, I'll just leave immediately after we finish. Of course, I wish you all the best. Again, when DG KNBS speaks, you know, he speaks everything that we were going to speak, and then he empties whatever we want to say. Of course, it's something to say, isn't it? So, but of course, I take pride in him. We have moved together. We have been, even when we were in school, the graduation, of course, him from one university. Those days when we joined university, there were only 3 universities in Kenya. I think the 3 of us, or the 4 of us, can see where they were. And of course, you find only 3 universities. Not 3, I think there were 4. Moi University, Egerton, Nairobi, and the KU. Kenyatta was already not born, and all those. So you can see guys where we have come from, that we have come from very far. So I think then the chief guest allow me to make some remarks, but of course before I make these remarks, yesterday I was with our PS, Dr. Boniface Makoa, and I told him I was coming down, and of course he told me that I need to bring his greetings to you, and of course embrace all you that the data that we are going to produce is what we need. As we move forward, where maybe in this the notes of where I was going to read, that thinking about Kenya at 100. Recently, our president, of course, spoke about Kenya being industrialized by 2055. Are you aware of that? Yeah. So that industrialization, or being a first world country, cannot happen if young people, especially I think there are so many Gen Zs here, young people do not take up the positions of leadership. And of course, positions of leadership starts from here. As you go to the field, you are going to collect data will not be able to look at, but as you, as a leader, of course, in this country, then we look forward that you would make a mark for your country. So, chief guest, allow me to read a few remarks that are here, so that then we can be able to move forward. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to join you today for this important occasion, marking the flag off of the training for the 2025-2026 Kenya Mean Demographic and Health Survey for Economic Planning. I wish to commend the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics and of course our partners for organizing this critical national exercise and for their continued leadership in generating reliable, timely, and highly quality statistics. That us at the SDF, we are the father and the mother of KNBS. So we are the mother. When you see us here, Baba, see Baba na Mama. So we will always support them. So the Kenya Mini Demographic and Health Survey is a key undertaking in our national statistical system. It provides vital information on the health and socioeconomic characteristics of our population. The data collected informs the information, monitoring and evaluation of key government policies, particularly in health, population and social protection. The result of this survey will also feed directly into the tracking of progress on the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the Kenya Vision 2030 and XMTP4, and our commitments under the Sustainable Development Goals, the African Union Agenda of 2063, and the ESC Agenda 2050. From this survey, we produce to support government interventions, especially the impact of the anti-FGM policies in having girls in schools, early pregnancies, and government and our position in world leadership. Distinguished guests, the State Department for Economic Planning is honored to partner with the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics in this noble exercise. As the coordinating agents for national planning and statistics, we recognize that credible data is the foundation of sound economic policy. Our economists, who have been seconded to support this exercise, of course we have seen them, will bring on board analysis and interpretation to ensure that the survey meets the highest professional to emphasize, ladies and gentlemen, the strategic importance of collaboration across government and development partners. The resource allocation and improved service delivery design targeted interventions and measure really progress improving the quality of life for Kenyans. Ladies and gentlemen, enhance future collaborations and efficiency in the implementation such as this the mini KMDHS. We need to all our partners. We need to walk the journey. We need to every cent that is given to us count for the purpose of these statistics. Therefore, for us to be able to have this kind of coordination mechanism will not only strengthen technical partnership and inclusive transparency, efficiency, and sustainable in the conduct of future national surveys. So, ladies and gentlemen, as from where we sit at the State Department for Economic Planning, we will always continue supporting KNBS in terms of resource mobilization, especially to the government channels. As we flag off this training, as we flag off the DHS 25-26 collection, I urge all participants to approach this exercise with utmost diligence, professionalism. The success of this survey depends on the commitment of every individual involved in this survey, from the enumerators in the field to the analysts at the Bureau. You are the custodians of the data that will get your country's development trajectory in the years to come, especially as we position ourselves to think about the next blueprint, the future Kenya at hand. In conclusion, I affirm the plans continue to support the Kenya Bureau of Statistics and to all our partners to their efforts aimed at strengthening our national statistical capacity. Together, we shall ensure that Kenya remains a data-driven economy where planning, policy formulation, and development decisions are guided by facts and evidence. With these few remarks, it's now my pleasure to wish all participants fruitful undertaking and great success in this important national exercise. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say thank you, God bless you, and God bless Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you, Jared, for this. And amesema mzazi ameongea, si ndio? So I can confirm that our State Department for Economic Planning is really supporting us very, very well. Now, with one of our own being there, more support coming our way. So, I would like to call to share with us. I've told you about the KNBS. We have not partnered before. I remember Khan accommodated me when I was hit by COVID-19. So I'm also a survivor of COVID-19. I survived it. Thank you and welcome.
Good afternoon. Very short. Chief guest, Dr. Chef, guest, ladies and gentlemen. First, let me start by apologizing for arriving late. So the day started with many other commitments, but I'm really honored. It's really our honor to be here and to contribute to this great initiative. I think as a private institution, we are very committed to evidence-based policy. Many people know our sister institution, the Khan Hospital, as we are the university. And within the university, you can do study medicine, you can run an institute that is fully committed to research and translating that research to practice and policy. So for us, there has never been a better opportunity than to work with KNBS, because then we know that the evidence we produce is at a national level, and thanks to the DG, I think we have contributed very. I was a bit embarrassed when you said you wouldn't be here without us, but we are really honored that you have given us the opportunity to contribute technically and in any other way. And for us, what's really very exciting to this process is the fact that Kenya is trailblazing. So we are interested in all the modules, because when you think of maternal, newborn, and child health, every aspect of it matters. But there's been one aspect that has always been neglected: understanding child development, really related to brain development, child development. They are foundation to transforming our society. We may build roads, we may do many other things, but if our children are not thriving, we cannot have a thriving society. So the fact that KNBS and Kenya, this partnership is really trailblazing in terms of ensuring we do the ECD module for children less than 24. I think so many people are looking forward to those results so that they can really advise how we take care of the needs of children, the younger children, in terms of not just health and nutrition, but other aspects of their development. So it's really our pleasure to be here. The other thing I would like to take note of is how impressed I am by the thoroughness I have seen with KNBS. I think I'll be telling everyone, if you want a data partner, please go to KNBS. I have worked in research for 20 plus years, and the way I have seen from the very start, first step we've taken with KNBS, thinking through the modules, the training, the pre-piloting, I'm really super impressed. And I'm 100% sure that the quality of the data will be very good. We are looking forward to this continued partnership in this project and many others, continued partnership when the data comes in, and I hope we can really continue working together. I would like to just take a moment and wish everyone well as we start the fieldwork all the best and success, and I hope I'll have a chance to also go to the field. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prof. I can tell you the gap that you filled financially and technically would not be here if that was not there and no any other partner came in. So you are the reason as to why we are here. Thank you so much. Great. Now, Francis, you talked of two leading men. Who was the leading lady? And could the two leading men come? Where's the leading lady? As I prepare to usher in the chief guest, I need the leading lady. And I need the two leading men. Mercy, Chebet, Sige from Kericho. Come over. Where are the two gentlemen? There's a guy from Belgium, and where's the other one? The other guy was you are? Mercy. And this lady? Mercy. Can you differentiate them by marks? But the Kericho one, are you also from Kericho? And you also from Kericho? No. Nakuru. Where's the other guy? Oh, you are here. Yeah, no, these are guys, you know, when we talk about seriousness in what people do, it is this kind of work that we do appreciate. So I would want to just give this guy some smaller airtime, and you also airtime. That would be airtime worth 6,000. So 2,000 each. Thank you for the good work. This is just airtime for you for the good work that you've done. You can't go empty-handed. I'll give you 1,000. Out of the contribution, you can give you. It is also good to be mercy. Because the mercies are powerful. I think, can you clap for them? And you're sure you will replicate that one in the field, eh? That's okay. So, colleagues, now I'm talking about the chief guest. And I'm talking about stakeholder, key stakeholder. Somebody who is also in the steering committee for the DHS. Somebody who has also offered a lot of support at that level to ensure that things are running. Not only this one, but even the previous DHS series. He's a medical doctor, by the way, if you didn't know. And so he's a key stakeholder in this process. And so as we are ushering him in to share with us, I would just ask you to rise up as we appreciate him.
Sit down. So DG is setting me, because you know when you are made the chief guest, always also you must come with gift, isn't it? Yeah? The DG KNBS, Dr. McDonald George Obudo, DG from State Department of Economic Planning, Jared Chora, the CEO, GEC, Dr. Purity, my colleague from the TFGM board, Mina Loju, ICF representative Sarah, Dr. David Soti, representing MOH and the DG MOH, Professor Gwanda, Fred Gwanda from KSRI, KNBS directors, staffs, field supervisors, researchers, Professor Mino, colleagues, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. From my end, really, it's a great pleasure to be here. This is my second family, DJ's video. I'm here and officiating this flagging of this group. Last time we did was in 2021. And when we were here, I also gave about my passion about this which we are calling the Kenya Demographic Health Survey. I joined KNBS in 2020 March. I came that time from the Ministry of Health as director in charge of family health. And with that area, that's where now this data is consumed. And also I came also as a director also from KNBS, from also an FGM. So the last KMDHS then was conducted in 2014. So 7 years has elapsed without doing, and this thing is supposed to be done after every 5 years. So when I joined KNBS, the first thing I said, you know, there's the agenda. The first agenda is about declaration of interest, isn't it? Yes. So me, I said my interest is the Kenya Demographic Health Survey. I say it has been 7 years overdue. We must do the Kenya Demographic Health Survey. I want to appreciate Dr. Opudo and the team for also taking this matter very serious. We did resource mobilization and we did the 2022 Kenya Demographic Health Survey. Immediately we released the results. There was another report that was released by World Health Organization. Dr. Herod is here, Stella is here, and Francis Kundu. Then they gave us some data. Then we said we need to do some mini KDHS. Yeah? That at least we have this, but we must do KDHS, not the KDHS. And that's why this mini KDHS came about, because we need to get certain data, which are very crucial, especially maternal mortality and figures on child mortality. The others I think are there, but those are the ones we need to get very clear, our maternal mortality. The other thing is, we said this will be a routine that we're going to do. 5 years we'll do the full one, and then after every, we'll do in between the mini KDHS. So that's something, a standard we have set as a country. So colleagues, I want to take this opportunity. For me, it's also again a great honor and privilege to be part of this important occasion, marking the flagging off of the Kenya Mini Demographic and Health Survey fieldwork. This ceremony not only signifies the start of a data collection exercise, but also reaffirms our nation's dedication to evidence-based planning and policy development. Through the Kenya Demographic Health Survey, Kenya continues to reinforce the empirical basis of sound population and development policy. The Kenya Demographic Health Survey series have, over the years, provided an invaluable foundation for understanding our country's demographic and health dynamics. The mini KDHS of 2025 is the first in Kenya and continues this tradition by generating up-to-date, high-quality data on fertility, mortality, maternal and child health, family planning, nutrition, and other critical population indicators. This information is indispensable in tracking progress toward our national development goals, including the Kenya Vision 2030, the 4th Medium-Term Plan, and our global commitments such as the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, the ICPD, 25 Nairobi Commitments, and African Union Agenda of 2063. In essence, the Kenya Demographic Health enables the policymakers, planners, and development practitioners to anchor decisions on rigorous, objective, and credible evidence. It ensures that our policies respond to real needs for the Kenyan population. NCPD and the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics share long-standing and strategic partnership anchored in our complementary mandates. Colleagues, I want to first recognize the presence of many staff from the National Council for Population and Development. DG, I want to, and your team, I want to thank you for the way you have very well collaborated with the NCPD. So I want them first to acknowledge my team. They're here. Some of them are supervisors, some of them are trainers, isn't it? So wasimame tuwaone, si ndio? And Kundu is on loan. Yeah? Kundu tuna loan, DG. Si ndio? Ako loan, si ndio? Sote yanaweza kusimama. Wasimame. This is a big thing for NCPD. By the way, the Kenya Demographic Health Survey was started. It started from NCPD. 1992, isn't it? 89, 93, 98, and then KNBS said we are the owners of data and statistics. So tukasema sawa, we will be the second fiddle, we'll follow you, but don't leave us behind. That's why NCPD team is here, and they're playing a big role. So DG, I want to thank you and your team. Well, KNBS provides the technical leadership. This data will provide us the what. It will provide us what? The what, isn't it? And then there's the why. The what is, it will give you maternal mortality is this rate, isn't it? It's this ratio. But then there's the why. The why now is that where NCPD will come on board. We will do further analysis. And then with that final analysis, we'll prepare policy briefs and the advisory papers. So from the why, we move to the how. The how is the implementation. So now the counties and other national agencies will now prepare the annual work plan, the strategic plans based on both the why data and the what data. And then you go to when. So the program is what, why, how, and when. So NCPD and KNBS will give you the what and the why. The counties and other implementing agencies now will go to the how and the when. So NCPD ensures the resulting data are interpreted, disseminated, and utilized to inform population and development policies at both national and county levels. Through these collaborations, output from successive demographic and health survey have informed the development of critical policy instruments, including one from NCPD side, the Kenyan National Population Policy for Sustainable Development, the Kenya Demographic Dividend Roadmap, the further analysis of selected KDHS topics, the campaign triple threat to the adolescent, that is, the triple threat is the fight against gender-based violence, HIV, and HIV. The strategic research on the agenda on population and sustainable development, population situation analysis 2025 report, which we are about to launch it, the family planning coastal implementation plan, and the Kenya National Population Program M&E framework, and other M&E frameworks for the Vision 2030 and related sectoral strategies. This synergy between the data generation and policy applications exemplifies the principle that statistics must not end at the shelves in the report. They must inform action and policy. Use of this data is that the data to be collected through the Kenyan Mini KDHS 2025 will be central in one, monitoring progress in reproductive health services, maternal, newborn, child health and development, adolescent health and femicide, among other issues, as has been highlighted by the CEOs here. It will also help us to monitor, assess the emerging demographic trends, including fertility, transition, and population age structure. It will also help us to evaluating the program effectiveness, especially in family planning and sexual and reproductive health services. It will also guide us in evidence-based policy changes at the both national and county level. NCPD remains committed to working closely with Kenya National Bureau of Statistics and relevant ministries and departments to ensure that this data is not only analyzed and disseminated widely, but also translated into policies and programs that improve the quality of life for every Kenyan. I appreciate, and I want to take this opportunity, allow me to take this opportunity to commend the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics for steadfast in leadership and professionalism in implementing large-scale surveys of this nature. As much as I'm the DG NCPD, I'm also a board member at KNBS. I have worked in the government for the last 20 years. I want to also appreciate my council. They are also very thorough, and we are also very effective in implementing things. But KNBS is a bar ahead of us. I want to congratulate DG and KNBS team for really the work, the dedication. I always see, whenever KNBS releases the results, or this monthly inflation rate, isn't it? How people pick it, yeah? But they don't know how much effort has been put in this inflation rate, isn't it? The people behind those rooms, tracking data, isn't it? So KNBS is a premier organization, and as our DG from CDEP, State Department of Economic Planning, on behalf of the peers, I want you to look at issues on funding issues for Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. This institution is a strategic institution that must be funded from the national kitty. We should not be relying on partners. I know our partners are here, AGHAN is here, ICF is here, UNFP is here. But again, these are very important government information. So we must also do our own local resource mobilization. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to take this opportunity to commend KNBS for its steadfast, that I want to repeat again, leadership and professionalism in implementing the large-scale surveys on this nature. We also acknowledge and appreciate the general support of our development partners, whose technical and financial assistance has ensured the continued success of the DHS program in Kenya and promoted the use of data for decision making. Here I want to appreciate Bill and Melinda Gates for coming on, Khan University, UN, the whole UN bodies, another institution that has supported this activity. To the field, these are the chief guests, isn't it? To the fields team, the supervisors, and the research assistant, you are the backbone of this exercise. Truly speaking, you are the backbone. I participated in the field visit of the last KNBS of 2022. And I went to Madogo, I went to Tana River, and I went also to Garissa. It is not an easy job. Yeah? It requires commitment, it requires dedication. As DG has said, you are interviewing one mother, one child, or one individual, but that individuals represent this country. So any mistake you make, any error you collect, you have collected an error and a mistake that will be replicated across the country. So ukienda kwa hiyo kazi, sisi wakati tunasali na mjua kila mtu hata anasali, si ndio? Siko mbele ya Mungu. Unafanya nini? You concentrate, si ndio? With details, si ndio? Please make sure you take these things into your heart. You make sure you don't make any error and mistakes. So, please don't rush anything. Just take your time, take your breaks, and make sure you do the right work. As we talked, we said, quality. To the field teams, I've said again, the accuracy, completeness, and reliability of the data will rely on for years to come and depend on your dedications, professionalism, and integrity. As you go to the field, remember that every interview matters, and every household you visit contributes to the shaping Kenya future. Behind every statistics lies a story of mother accessing healthcare services, a child surviving beyond infancy, a young person making informed reproductive health choices, and households striving for better well-being. So, colleagues, the data you collect in the coming weeks will tell Kenya's story accurately, objectively, and powerfully. By collecting high quality and truthful data, we'll ensure that the findings reflect the real situation of Kenya households. Its accuracy is essential because policymakers, planners, development partners rely on these statistics to make informed decisions that shape the national policy, allocate resources, and improve the lives of citizens. I therefore urge you to uphold the highest ethical and methodological standards as you interact with selected households across the country. In conclusion, the Kenya Mini KDHS represent a vital investment in our nation's capacity to plan effectively for its people. As reliable data are the cornerstones of sound policy, let's collectively ensure that the knowledge we integrate through this survey is harnessed to improve the quality of life for every Kenyan, leaving no one behind. I wish all the field teams success, safety, and excellence as they embark on this important national assignment. It is a national, it's a privilege to be among these 190 Kenyans. It is a privilege to be in the field. So please, let's take this privilege very serious. Let's be ambassadors for the National Kenya Bureau, for the National Kenya Bureau of Statistics. Let's be ambassadors for our society and for our nation. I want just to say something about the female genital mutilation. I've been a board member of the female genital mutilation. I'm an advocate. I advocate against FGM. So if you are here, please, as a man, please make sure your daughter is not mutilated. Since mutilation is bad. I have observed and I have seen as a medical doctor in the field what women undergo. The trouble and the pain for women who get obstructed labor. The high maternal mortality you see in northern Kenya is contributed mostly to obstructed labor. And obstructed labor is because you have destroyed the structure. And so a child cannot pass through the cervix is supposed to dilate to around 10 centimeters. In a normal woman, the cervix is closed. But that cervix is supposed to dilate to 10, around 10. Sindio? Now imagine if you get fibrotic tissues, this thing cannot dilate. It gets obstructed. The child cannot come out. And so you will find children, a woman laboring for 3 to 4 days because of female genital mutilation. So I urge you also to take heed from my sister so that also you don't circumcise your daughters. I have 2 daughters, I will not circumcise them. The other one is about teenage pregnancy. Teenage pregnancy. The National Council for Population and Development, in one of its roles is to identify key population issues and advise the government. One of the things we have identified is teen pregnancies. Every year, girls below the age of 18 years, more than 300,000 get pregnant, whether it's early marriage, whether it's untimely, whatever it is, we call it. It is early marriage or it is unwanted pregnancy. But more than 300,000, these are girls who are supposed to be in school, either in secondary. So they're losing the potential. And that's what we're saying, from a economic perspective, we must end teenage pregnancy and adolescent pregnancy by that. At the moment that there are some good leading with over 15 years pregnant. Also those 2 issues, when you go to the field, you can educate the mothers and the fathers and the sons and the daughters with them in the field. With those few remarks, DG, with the permission of the table here, I want to take this opportunity to flag off these mini KDHS 2025 officially.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Colleagues, I think that is the very last statement that we are getting. And if you have not been convinced by this team, as I said earlier, I do not know the team that we want to convince you to do this thing right. Are we okay? I would. Yeah. So we should be guided to the next step. I think my beat is done. So, Madam MC, come back. Asante sana.
Asante DG. I thought we were going to airtime ya Thank you DG for wonderfully executing the guest and the entire panel. We have one last speaker, chief guest, and that is Moses Ouma, who will move a vote of thanks. Makofi.
Thank you very much, Madam MC. It is always difficult to speak or to take the podium immediately your boss has spoken. But since the honors of giving the vote of thanks is on me, I will undertake that opportunity. Okay, to the chief guest, Dr. Mohamed Sheikh, Director General NCPD, to the DG, KNBS, Dr. Odugo, and your staff, protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am humbled, as I said, but mine is simple, to pass a vote of thanks. Let me start by appreciating the Almighty God for the gift of life, care, and for the opportunity of us being here for the last 24 days. We have not had major incidences, that is bad health or any other in relation to that, and that is why I start by thanking him. Secondly, I want to thank our chief guest, Dr. for getting time to come and officially flag off this event. That underlines how important this exercise is And we as participants, we understand that and we are ready to do that. To the Director General, KNBS, Dr. Obudo, and your staff, for the last 24 days you have been our father, you have been our mother, and we don't take that for granted. So thank you very much, and as we move forward, you will still be with us to ensure that your fatherly love and motherly love will still continue. To the senior government officials invited today and are in attendance, we also thank you. Your presence here also signifies that this activity is very important. So we appreciate you and we appreciate your time. To our partners, including development partners, ICF there, she has been there for us. She has been there with us, providing technical support and providing whatever we want. To other partners, universities, Aga Khan, JKU, where Prof comes from, University of Nairobi, we thank you, because without you, generating new knowledge is not possible. So being in our midst, we thank you so much for that. Not forgetting our facilitators. When we started and we were put in those classes, initially we thought it was a competition, but surely it's not a competition. But kudos to those who did well, but all of us passed, isn't it? Just because of our facilitators. We are humbled. We are here because of you. We have the knowledge, we have the skill, and we are ready for the work, just because of that. To the CAPI team, that is the data team, where my brother Geoffrey and Paul sits, we are very humbled. Because without getting it right with CAPI, then the work will be very difficult. But I can assure you, the data team, that looking at what has happened in the last 3 days during the pilot, we are ready for the work and we shall not let you down. I also need to thank this hotel, Waterback. It has been our home. They have worked tirelessly to ensure that we are comfortable. No complaints have been received, and wherever complaint comes up, they have been able to address. So also thanks to them very much, and we continue to appreciate them. Lastly, to participants. I can echo the sentiments of all the speakers, but I will echo what the chief guest has said, that we are the guests of the day. We have the team, we have the skills, and we have the knowledge. We have been given the tools. What is remaining is the product. It has been emphasized here that we don't need only to go and collect data, but we have to collect quality data so that it can direct our planning. And our chief guest and the DG KNBS, Dr. Budo, and all the invited guests, on behalf of this team, we are ready to go out there and work and collect not only data, but quality data that you will be proud of. So as we look forward to start the exercise, I know we are energized. I know we shall do well. As I finish, I also need to recognize the media personnel who have been here. They have ensured that at least the exercise is national, because I know it is not only for us here. People are watching out there to see what will be happening. So kudos. And lastly, I was not alone in this war of being the president of this class. I had my assistants. So I'll just